Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
So we have plenty of rain in southern Oregon and northern California. The big story for today really is going to be the snow levels continuously going up. In fact, earlier this morning we had snow in parts of the Cascades, and now we just have some rain-snow mix, and eventually it's just going to be all rain as we go from southwest towards the north and the east. Now the rain for the most part is relatively light, but that won't be the case once we get over the next couple of days. And because excuse me, there is a big area of low pressure way offshore, this is actually going to create a mess for the entire state. It's going to create a mess up to the north, and it's going to create a mess in our area. So let's go first north to our north. So if you're traveling or if you're expecting goods and services, there's still a ice storm warning along the Columbia River Gorge and a winter weather advisory for the Portland metropolitan area for a mixture of freezing rain and snow. This is not set to expire until tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's because an Arctic front is still way up to our north. Temperatures in the teens and 20s, but look at 33 in Portland, but it's only 40 in Salem. So until this cold air finally scours out of the region, we're going to be stuck with the mess well up to our north. Now the mess that's going to be created here is a lot of rain that's really going to start to ramp up late Friday and into Saturday. But in the meantime, we're going to be seeing some light rain from time to time for today and into tomorrow as well. In fact, we may even get a little bit of a break where there's no rain at all. But once we get towards Friday evening, we're going to start seeing that rain really start to ramp up, and it's going to start to pick up from our southwest and mostly go into California, but it will still affect us quite a bit. Now, rainfall totals for today were actually pretty light, less than 1/10 of an inch for most of us so far. Obviously, that's going to be increasing over the next several days. But in terms of our stormcast rainfall amounts, it's not picking up a lot for today or into tomorrow. We'll generally see less than 1/10 of an inch for today because the rain's going to be fairly light. But you can see our raincast model Saturday into Sunday at 3 o'clock in the morning, picking up some really good rain, especially to our south. But we're going to be looking at for all of southwest Oregon and northern California as a flood potential outlook for this week. And we'll be looking at a combination of snowmelt plus rain. In fact, we could be looking at 1 to 5 inches for southwestern Oregon and northern California. Obviously more in the higher elevations, less in the lower elevations. But for today, we're going to be looking at light rain on and off throughout the day. Temperatures pretty mild. We're going to be looking at temperatures into the low 50s here in the Rogue Valley, 47 though for Wairika, 58 over in Brookings, and low 40s east of Cascades. So that's when you know it's pretty mild, when it's in the low 40s east of Cascades. Temperatures right around freezing east of Cascades, mid to high 30s in for the Shasta Valley, low to mid 40s here in the Rogue Valley. So here's your forecast for the next 7 days along the Oregon coast. We're going to start getting some pretty good rain, especially once we get over towards this weekend. Temperatures though peaking by the time we get to Friday at 60 degrees, although not much cooler, but still very mild for the next several days. Northern California, you're going to have plenty of rain, especially once we get over towards this weekend, and temperatures right around 50 degrees. Not a whole lot of fluctuation in temperatures for the next several days. For the Klamath Basin, you might end up being dry for Friday, but that should change over once we get towards late in the day, and then we'll be looking at a pretty wet weekend, and that chance of showers lingers into early next week. Cascades, we'll see some rain and snow, but that snow level is going to be generally about 6,000 feet or so. So that's really only going to be confined to the highest locations, mostly like Crater Lake at the rim of Crater Lake. But other than that, it's going to be a lot of rain for the Cascades. Here in the Rogue Valley, we're going to get plenty of rain once we get towards this weekend. Again, we were talking about that flash flood potential into this weekend.